is the Doublet Special Master.
Live and direct.
Breakfast with CubCamTV.
Trickstar Radio.
Yes then, people, back inside the building. Smooth flavours on that one. Be Young with Come Alive. Definitely a tune that crept up on me, and now I can't get enough of it.
It's in your hair.
One of those summertime sunshine rollers. Anyway, gone from summertime sunshine rollers to talking about the theft of a massive album.
Oi.
Or the ownership of a massive album.
Yes.
Yaron, talk to me about NFTs. What's going on? What's going on?
Right then, so we haven't spoken about NFTs in a while on our show.
It's been almost 6.5 minutes.
It's been almost 2 seconds. So there have been some developments. Essentially, Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt, was going to be auctioned off as an NFT by Damon Dash, who co-founded Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z. Now, the idea behind this NFT was that Damon Dash, or the company who was selling it on his behalf, were going to sell Damon Dash's rights, percentage rights of Reasonable Doubt to whoever bought the NFT of Reasonable Doubt, right?
Okay.
So rather than selling or the person owning the album itself, they would own Damon Dash's percentage of the royalties or the future royalties. So any
it's
future
very much
royalties.
Not what it says on the tin, is it?
No, it's not. It's not at all. And it's not as sexy as it sounds either. But what it does mean is that if you were to invest in this NFT of Reasonable Doubt, you would then have payouts as if you owned the copyright or the percentage of that copyright. Now, Rockefeller have come out and are now technically suing Damon Dash because although he owns a minority stake in Rockefeller Records, he doesn't actually have any power to sell off Rockefeller assets. So he's not actually allowed to sell albums. Now, this has kind of kicked up a whole conversation about
ownership in general.
Ownership and what it is that NFTs are actually selling here. Because if you look at the digital art world, what the NFT is that
it's the physical copy of the thing.
Yeah, it's the original copy of that artwork and the certificate of authenticity, the digital certificate of authenticity collected to that artwork. Whereas with music, because you have royalties paid out and there's so many different kind of revenue streams regarding copyright, it's not just one, you don't just buy an album and you own that album. Loads of people can own that album, radio can play that album, TV can sing that album.
Which is the fun of an album, it's the whole point.
Of course it is. So, but then how does that legally work with NFTs? And now we're seeing, this isn't the first example of this, but it's the first example of an album being NFT'd and such a big album being NFT'd.
And again, a project that's already in the open and has been in the open for a long period of time.
94, 96, I think. So, but then on the flip side of that, we see in the music industry, NFTs aside, big artists selling their catalogs to the major labels for a fixed fee. I think David Guetta recently sold his catalog for $100 million to one of the majors. He now doesn't get royalties from that, I don't think. And the major label will essentially take the royalties from that in years to come and hopefully recuperate that 100 million plus.
But it's essentially going, you know what, I think this is what I'm going to make in my lifetime off these records, so here you go. You can have them for longer, but I'm going to take my amount now.
But the difference is with NFTs is I can sell you my copyright, or I can sell Bob down the pub my copyright, rather than having to sell it to a major label.
So that's the thing. So what we're looking at here is essentially I suppose it's kind of like the evolution, and it's almost like a de-evolution at the same time, of literally going, I'm just going to sell you the copyright as an NFT, so you will own the physicality of my copyright.
Yeah, so you will essentially.
Very bizarre.
I'm now going to transfer
it's very abstract. This.
I know, but you know what? It's one of those things where the technology almost moved too fast for the legal side of it and the logistics of it. It's like, we're going to take this idea. Damon Dash was just, I'm going to mint this NFT. I'm going to sell this NFT. And then suddenly it's like these repercussions are coming into play because copyright is such a complex thing.
Yeah.
And without NFTs, copyright's a complex thing, and it's still something that the music industry especially is trying to get on top of.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we collect royalties around the world?
It's not like putting a fork in the road. It's like putting a whisk in the road.
Yeah, or just like a rotating plate.
Putting a salad spinner in the middle of the road.
Yeah, exactly. But Rockefeller aren't happy about it. Jay-Z's not happy about it. It's been taken off the NFT side, so it's not going up for auction. But it'd be interesting to see how this model continues, because it would be cool if you could, as an artist, just sell your super fan the rights to their favorite song
This is only phase one.
And it's then an investment as well.
Yeah, I've already been quite clear on this for me. Like, I think that the general enjoyment of owning an album is that other people can own it as well, and you can share the experience of it. That's always been the thing for me. But obviously, this is something that is coming into play, and it's something I feel we're going to have to start getting used to. The idea of that private ownership becoming more and more volatile, I suppose, and becoming more and more wanted and more appealing to those with a bit more cash in their wallet.
And we've also established that we actually don't own anything with Spotify and streaming services. So actually, it's like going the total opposite extreme in order to find balance. You know, it'd be interesting if like an entire fan base could split the NFT. So your fan base could own your music.
You buy into the NFT.
Yeah, you buy into the artist and into the royalties.
I like that.
And then you get dividends accordingly further down the line.
It's almost like it's like publicly funding a company, isn't it? Realistically, but it's like that, but doing it.
And that's also something that's being developed. So
Or privately funding a company. I don't know. I'm losing track.
Crowdfunding.
Essentially crowdfunding. That's the term I was looking for. But there we go. Interesting stuff. We'll keep you up to date on this one. I'm sure there'll be an update from this next week from Yaron. Moving forward, we're going to finally get into our track of the week. A little bit late this week, but who cares? It's an absolute banger anyway, so we're going to enjoy it just the same. It goes by the name of Baby from Smasher alongside Solo Jane. Following that, we've got some Sneak Bow on the way. So keep it locked and don't go anywhere, my friends.
Yes.
This is Breakfast with Kxvu, bringing you their morning flavors on Trickstar Radio.
Trickstar Radio.